What do you know, another rainy day here in North Carolina. What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. If you guys don't know, my name is John Doc, and behind me is one of my vehicles that I really don't talk much about on the channel, probably because it is my daily driver. It is my 2015 Chevrolet Silverado 2500 Duramax diesel. It's got the old trusty 6.6 liter LML Duramax engine there, and yeah, it's probably my best vehicle. I probably treat it the worst, but I do love it. I do drive it every day. It is truly my daily driver. Just a little baseline, what's going on with it. Obviously, you guys can see by the title of the video, we're going to talk about how it's doing its mileage with what mods are on it. But just for start, what we got going on, some simple things. We'll talk about the exterior. Starting off up front, we got some LED fog lights and headlights in there. The high beams are still normal. We wrapped the front bumper white. We wrapped the mirrors white. We got tint all around it on the front window. It's got like 50 on the front and then 35 and then some stuff laid over the stock tint, and that's pretty much it. The mirrors, the top of the mirrors are wrapped white as well. I didn't go with the bottom. I kind of like that look. It's a little bit different. If we go around to the back here, the back of the bumper is wrapped, and I see a lot of you guys commenting up and you're like, dude, you got a 1500 bumper because it should have some higher stuff up here. Yeah, listen, I don't know. The bumper came with the truck. I'm not too worried about it. It's a bumper. It's there. It's a little slightly bent, I think. Looks like it got in contact with this right here somehow. I don't know if that happened with the trailer or what. I do tow with this thing quite a bit, which will bring me to the next thing on it, which is the suspension. So unlike most people that lift their trucks, I lowered it, and it might not look that low to you right now, but compared to a truck that is standard height or even leveled, it is quite low. It has a lowering key in the front. In the back, it has a drop shackle and one relief removed. Total in the suspension stuff, I'm in about like $250 to get it to sit like this, and I really do like it. As for the wheel and tire setup, it's got some Fuel Tritons on there, which I like. They are 22 by 12, so it's got a nice little poke to it, just enough to get the truck completely dirty when the roads are wet, but not too much that it is absolutely ridiculous. The tires I got are 305/40/22, so they're stretched a little bit, and you know, I'd say I'm really happy with the truck. It really is my dream truck. This is the truck that I wanted, kind of. I always wanted a nice diesel truck, and I wanted it to be different than what everyone else does. Not too many guys lower it, and I'm just really happy with how it looks. As for performance mods, all the work was done at RPM Motorsports. An S&B cold air intake, and then it has your standard delete on there. It's a PPEI tuning delete. It's the DSP5 switch through an AutoCal programmer, and then it's got a Flow Pro 5-inch exhaust all the way back to a very dirty custom exhaust tip, which is known on the internet as the world's most expensive exhaust tip. Half you guys will go in the comments right now and be like, God dang it, Bo, that looks just like a Ford exhaust tip from the factory. Well, it's not. Whether you guys think it looks like one or not, it is not. It is a dual exhaust tip made by Jeff from High PSI TV and David Farlow at Boost Fab. And yeah, I'd say it's something different. It is a dual teardrop 5-inch exhaust, which is kind of what I wanted, something different. Whether it looks like a Ford exhaust tip or not, you guys can say it in the comments. I know in my heart it is not that. So I'm pretty happy with it. I like it. It's dirty, it's heavy, and it needs to be cleaned up. All right, you can see Ben there dipping out here in the smart car. What's up, Ben? That's Ben's daily. Whipping the smart car, the pit vehicle. Everyone's scared now. Everyone's scared of that thing. I think it's got some serious horsepower. So anyways, back to the truck. I do drive a lot with this. We tow race car trailers, I tow generators, I tow, you know, open equipment trailers. I'll tow pretty much anything with the truck. Tow's pretty good for having the suspension stuff done to it. When you get a real heavy truck, we got a 32-foot dual axle race car trailer that will stick a smart car in the front and one of my race cars or Chris's car in the back. That thing will piss this thing off. I'll talk about that in another video. I'll put it on the hitch and you guys can really see what it does, but man, it gets it so angry you literally can't drive with it. So I'd say for lightly weighted stuff, it's not too bad, but when you try to stick 2 cars in a trailer and get a ton of tongue weight on there, it pisses it off. As you can see here by the pintle hitch, That's what's required to do the storm work that I do. If you guys are interested in that, surprisingly, I get a bunch of guys that, I would not say surprisingly, it's a really good gig and pays really well. I get a ton of guys that email me and I get them on my list to do the storm work. It's, I'd say location based and based off of storm, so it's not a full-time job by any means, but it's a way to make some quick cash, do fun, I'd say a fun job. I like doing it. If you guys are interested, I'll link my email here and in the description below. You guys can email me, and if it's something you're interested in, it's mainly on the East Coast, but I'll take guys wherever. And yeah, you guys have seen Send It Steve and Andy from DFR do it. It's a pretty good gig, but the pintle hitch is required with that. But I'd say I mentioned that because when you are on those storms, you can rack up 1,000 miles in no time. You're just driving all over the place. We're driving with the trailer all over the place. We're going racing. We're going down to Florida multiple times. We're going up to Maryland. We're going to Pennsylvania. I mean, we're traveling all over. New Jersey to pick up a car. Go up to New York to pick up engines. So this truck sees a lot of miles, and I know I love it. It's a really nice truck, but it does get the miles put on it. And I know what you guys are saying when I mentioned the delete that's done to it. You're like, well, he didn't say lift pump. That's right, I do not have a lift pump on there. I'm on the factory CP4 pump. It kind of is what it is. So for those of you guys that don't know, I am no diesel expert by any means. I don't claim to be a diesel expert. I know enough just to kind of get myself in trouble, and I'm not claiming to come out here and educate people. All I know is that the delete I have on there, I like it because it increases fuel economy, gives the truck more power, and I have this cool little knob right here, which allows me to turn the tune up from 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. As you guys can see, I have 105,000 miles on this truck, so yes, it has a lot of miles. The delete was done to the truck at about, I want to say 50,000 miles. So it's got 50,000 miles on this truck deleted with no lift pump. Now, a lot of you guys are saying, dude, you need to put a lift pump on your truck. When you delete it, it'll blow up. Now, I would say that I don't treat it very kindly, but I'm also not an idiot about it. So what I do with this truck, I drive it quite hard. I'm not an asshole, but I do like to drive quick. I'm not going to leave a stoplight going like 2 miles an hour and barely get up to 30. I mean, I'm going to go the speed limit. I'm going to go a little bit above. I'm going to get to where I'm going because I got a lot of places to be. So one thing I do, being that I don't have lift pump, is I never run the truck on tune 5. Tune 5 is the hottest tune. Now, there are guys that do run this setup on tune 5, and they'll get a code saying low rail pressure or low fuel pressure and rail. And that's because solely the high pressure pump cannot keep up. It can't supply enough fuel. Now, because of that, I try to tone it back and keep it off that because I'm really not trying to have a fuel pump failure. There's a lot of guys that go out there when they do this delete, they do the lift pump, and if you have the money, if you have the cash on hand, I recommend it. It really hasn't been a priority to me to spend the money on there, opposed to, you know, investing it into my channel, investing it into apparel, investing it into mobile vision, because I have a bunch of other gigs that are going on. I'm trying to build 3 race cars. I got an apparel company, which is LS Nasty. I got a mobile security tracking company, which is that. I got the storm company, which is John Dock Recoveries. So I got a bunch of different stuff going on, and I don't know. Now that I'm talking about it and telling you guys, man, $600, $700 for a lift pump, it seems pretty stupid not to get it for the insurance that it gives you, but I've been rolling around for 50,000 miles with no lift pump. Some things that I will say that I have noticed by not having a lift pump and the delete on there. When I first had it on there, mild throttle, rolling into throttle, waiting for boost to come online, it would roll a lot of coal. Since then, I'd say it's cleaned up quite a bit. I don't know if it's something that I should be concerned of or not, but it doesn't roll nearly as much coal coming into throttle. Now, the Duramaxes, I know they're known to not really be that dirty of a truck. They're not going to roll as much coal as like a Dodge would, but I'd say it barely rolls coal now. And I don't know if that's something I should be concerned of, like the fuel pump's going out or the lift pump's going out. Like the fuel pump's going out, and maybe this is an early sign. Now, from what I've read on the internet, is they don't really show themselves going out. They're either like working or they explode. And when they explode, it's a nightmare because it sends metal all throughout the fuel injection system, and you pretty much have to replace it all. I guess from what I'm getting from, it's anywhere from like $4,000 to $7,000 to replace all this stuff. Not a good deal. Being that I use this truck for work and drive it everywhere, I'd prefer that not to happen. So the more that I'm talking to you guys about this stuff in this video, the more I'm like, maybe I really should just go out and buy a lift pump. Overall, 50,000 miles on the truck with no lift pump. It's done really well. I really have had The reason why I deleted it was because it was having a bunch of issues with the def stuff. Every time I tried to go on a trip, it would have a reduced engine power, it would go into limp mode, and I'd have to pull over and wait. And with how much I was traveling, it finally was enough of a nuisance that I was like, listen, I need to get this taken off. So I had the truck deleted. Fuel economy went up, everything went up, truck performed great, and since then, 50,000 miles, I've really had no issues with it. The most issues that I've had with the truck, I'll freak out when I change the oil because I get a little tick, but again, I get on the forum and everyone says, man, they tick when you change the oil. I use Shell Rotella, I run in everything. All of my race cars are turbo cars. I run a 1540 oil in there, so I just put the same oil I put in my truck, I put in my race cars. And I change the oil in my race cars like every other time we go to the track. I change my oil in this, I'd say probably every 8,000 miles. Right now I'm at like 8,200 on this oil change, so I really got to get it done, but it's not too bad. But overall, I would say, the internet scares a lot of people saying you can't delete the truck without a lift pump on there, and I'm going to tell you guys, from my experience, at least 50,000 miles, it's been nothing but good to me. I change oil in it regularly. I don't beat the hell out of it too much. I stay off of tune 5, but other than that, I mean, I'll drive it hard, I'll go wide open, I'll do some burnouts, I'll smoke the tires. I will tow a heavy trailer pretty aggressively, and it seems to hang in there and treat me well. So I would say don't be scared to delete it without the lift pump. If you're looking at deleting the truck and you got $3 grand laying around, it's another $700-800 to get it deleted with the lift pump, I would say, what, go in there and do it without a lift pump, and you can get it at a later date. I'm not opposed to putting a lift pump on the truck. It just hasn't been my highest priority. I've been spending money in other places where I feel like I can get some return on investment, but having the peace of mind of having a lift pump on there, a little insurance, is something that, especially after this video, is something I might look into. So this is just a quick little update. So I do want to thank you guys for watching. If you haven't already, go down and pick up your tickets for the LS Nasty experience, because that stuff is going to be fire. I just got news today that we're going to have a special guest who may or may not have been an influential part in Radial vs. the World, pick one of the winners. So yes, keep that in mind. A driver in the Radial vs. the World class is going to stick his hand in the bucket and pull out a winner for the ticket. So if you're not in the entry, you need to get your tickets quick, because they're flying right now, and all the LS Nasty stuff is flying. So I do want to thank you guys for watching. Comment, like, subscribe. We'll see you guys in tomorrow's upload.